When you look at the Grizzlies and Warriors, this is a matchup where there's a lot of bad blood. And I feel like that adds to the motivation of teams wanting to advance. So if you look at the star player props for the Grizzlies and the Warriors, Steph Curry set at 28.5. Would not shock me if he goes over this. The only sabotage factor is maybe that just this is a high number. And also, he's dealing with a hurt hand. Didn't stop him last game in that overtime loss to the Clippers, had 36 points. For the month of April, he's averaging 29 points per game, and he's been good since the All-Star break, and he's had some big ones against Memphis. Dropped 52 on the Grizzlies last time around with 12 threes made. So I think some of these guys kind of take it personal because the Grizzlies have talked a lot of trash about the Warriors over the last 5 years. So for Steph Curry, he is what makes that offense go. Would not shock me if he has a big game. So I think you add him to like alt parlays where you go Steph Curry 25 plus, maybe the Warriors on the money line. You can do that same game parlay for minus 120 or just play his player prop outright 28.5. It's not going to shock me if he has a big game tonight.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about betting this game, if you want to take a side, the Warriors are laying 7.5 or 6.5, down from 7 yesterday. Warriors are minus 300 on the money line. The Grizz are plus 240. Your total is 229.5. And when I was handicapping this game or looking at this yesterday when it was sitting at 7, I just feel like 7 is too much. So we're seeing a little bit of money coming on the Grizz. I don't really like a side. And when I see a big number in a playoff matchup, I understand why it's warranted. But playoff matchups tend to be a little bit tighter, just naturally, because it's either win or go home in a game like this. Warriors were also a little weakened at the end of the season. They lost 2 of their last 5 or only won 2 of their last 5. I think what I like here is I like going over the total. The total is set at 229 and a hook, and that's up a point. But if you look at the matchups that these teams have had this season, they've averaged 242 points per game between them. And another bet I like, which I think I'm going to put this on the card as well, I'm going to go over the Warriors team total, which is set at 117 and a hook. So the Warriors have hit at least 121 points in 3 out of those 4 matchups this season as well. And also, I think we're going to see a back-and-forth game. Not only have we seen high totals throughout the entire season, but also you've got the second-best three-point shooting team in the NBA in the Warriors. The Grizzlies are top 15, and I can just see a back-and-forth Ja Morant, Steph Curry sort of shootout where we see a lot of points. So I would lean to the over. That's probably my favorite bet on the card.
Yeah, and if you like the over, that kind of correlates with some of those star player props. So I'm not going to talk you off of that. But this is definitely the game to watch. Like, no disrespect to the Magic and the Hawks, but everybody's going to be watching the Western Conference, even in the earlier rounds. Because is anybody going to be shocked if the Warriors make a run with, Jimmy Butler added to the lineup? Is anybody going to be shocked if, the Grizzlies even, have an upset here because they have some star players as well? Ja Morant has had a great season despite, some of his antics that he loves throwing the grenades into the crowd. So obviously that's the game that I think a lot of people will be watching. And especially like some of these teams that are waiting in the wings. Do you think people really want to face the Warriors? Probably not. With all of that championship pedigree, not a team that you want to face, even coming out of the play-in.
Maybe Ja Morant can just break out a different weapon for every playoff game if for some reason they advance. Maybe it's brass knuckles. Maybe he goes with a sickle. Maybe it's a hammer. Maybe a screwdriver.
I don't even know what that is.
A sickle is used to cut wheat generally. Like it's on the Russian flag, like a hammer and a sickle, you can cut And we're like, what does he do? And John is swinging the sickle after an upset Grizzlies. Oh, nunchucks, Double D says. That's also, if he could do the nunchucks thing, I'd be like doing nunchucks. That would be so much better than an actual gun. Just weapons of all types. No discrimination at all. That could be his thing until Adam Silver steps in a week.